Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mandy Grace, author of 10 young adult novels so far. Welcome to July's writing vlog, because apparently I do 1 month at a time now. I'm still adjusting to that. I don't know what I'm doing with YouTube anymore these days. But here we are. It's July 1st. Probably not going to be able to write today specifically because I'm running out of time in my day. But hopefully a lot of writing will happen between now and August. Gosh, it is toasty out here. Hi. I wanted to find a quiet place to film outside here at the farm. But I didn't want to walk where I usually walk because I came inside with like 6 ticks that time, the last time. So we're just over here on the edge of the field instead of under the trees. Not in the tall grass, mind you, just like on the edge of the mowed area. Anyway, hi. Welcome back. It's July 20th. I finished my 2 weeks at camp. I'm really hoping the wind isn't too much for you, because I don't want to have to refilm all of this. Finished camp, kind of tired. But now that I'm back, being productive again. So, today, on this very hot Monday, I went through a chapter of my client's work, and I went through my critique partners chapter, and then I got on a new prickle that we're doing. It's like a daydreaming thing. So my writing community, we write together on Zoom, right? And we call them prickles. But we have different flavors of prickles. And this one was like a daydreaming one where we just talked about like stories that have been in our minds, on our hearts that we're not working on, but like maybe someday we will. They just keep like tugging at us. Or also just like author dreams, like when our books are made into movies, like what is that going to look like, and how do we want that to come to fruition. And anyway, it was a whole thing. It was wonderful. It was delightful. I really, really enjoyed that prickle a lot, and listening to everyone talk about their different story ideas or their future author life. It was neat. It was really, really neat. I talked about My Name is Brianna because I'm currently finishing up the rewriting of the old Amanda Grace books into Mandy Grace books. And I'm working on Cindy and Hope's books, and those are the last ones, and then I'm done with that project. But what I was writing previously, before diving into that project, was my Arthurian legend inspired fantasy series, which I love and I want to get back to, and I want to do well. Anyway, I'd like to get back to Messiah. But I don't, even though it's been a bit, I don't think of Messiah as like a put-aside project or a distant project or like something I need to like go back to, or like she still feels like my current work in progress. I just got side-quested by the old Amanda Grace books. But like Messiah in that series is my current like work in progress. If that makes sense. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but that's how it is in my brain. So I didn't talk about the Messiah story because that's not something that's like on my heart for so many years, but I haven't been doing it, or like an inkling of a story that I haven't written down yet, or whatever. Like that's, the Messiah is like, I have the 3 first drafts of books 1, 2, and 3, and I've got a portion of book 4, and like that's the series I'm working on. I'm distracted right now doing Cindy and Cassie, and gosh, Cindy distracted me for a solid 3 years, which was rude. But like that's, it's still, I still feel like that's the series that I'm actually working on, even though I'm not. that's where my focus is supposed to be, and will be again shortly when I stop bunny trailing off into this other direction that I've been bunny trailing in for 4 years. But anyway, so the story I actually talked about was my crime novel, which I tried to write, I don't remember when, like maybe like 2018, NaNoWriMo or something. I had this idea for a psychological thriller, which I can't really talk about without giving it away. I gave it all away on the prickle. I just told them the twist. But Anyway, I had this idea. I tried writing it poorly, but it was before the days of me, A, understanding story and doing any amount of, like, craft research whatsoever. And B, it was before I had learned to be an outliner. And that story really needed a we know what's happening before we write it structure, because trying to pants my way through a psychological thriller crime novel was impossible. I couldn't just, like, make it up as I went along, which is how I like to draft. So it just didn't go anywhere. I don't even remember how much of that story I wrote, but it wasn't a lot. But I still really like the idea, and I think the twist is really cool, which I can't tell you about without spoiling it, so I'm not going to. Anyway, I do think it's really cool. So someday, maybe, I'd like to try my hand at it again. I have, like, a 5 to 10 year plan right now, finishing up Cindy and Hope, and then going back to the Messiah series, which is 4 books, which will take time to, like, rewrite, edit, whatever. So I don't have time to be writing the crime novel right now. But, you know, in, like, 10 years, when I've finished my fantasy series and it's doing well, I might circle back around to My Name is Brianna. Because it's a really fun idea. It doesn't sound fun if I talk about it vaguely, but it's a really fun idea, you guys. I don't know if I can pull it off, but it's fun. Anyway, so that's what I talked about, and it was kind of fun to bring it up again and think about it. And yeah, the gals in my writing community were excited. They liked the idea. They liked the twist, which just made me excited again and be like, man, someday I might actually pull this out and do it. Anyway, not right now. I haven't written in 2 weeks or whatever it's been, so we are going to open up Hope's document and do some amount of drafting. And see what happens. It's been a while. I don't know where we're at. I think we just met her brother the last time I was writing. I don't know. There's a lot of found family characters in Hope's story, which is great. I love that. But you don't actually meet them in the original book, and she just sometimes, like, name drops them as if she really cares about them, but we never see her thinking about them or talking to them or whatever. And I know, like, as the author, I know that she really does have meaningful relationships with these people, but they're not on screen at all in the original book. Not even a little bit. So I'm trying to fix that throughout as I'm going. And so the brother that shows up in the original book, I let him show up again at the same time that he did in the original book, but I also added the brother that she's actually the closest to in the original book, because it makes more sense for him to be there. So I didn't kick out the other one, because that relationship is also meaningful, but I do remember the last time I was drafting a couple weeks ago, I was like, why this brother? Why didn't I choose the brother that she actually has relationship with? Like, Walden has screen time in the original book, just not in person, because it's always on the phone. But he's the only brother, like, as a reader, Walden is the only brother that we've interacted with yet. So when Hannibal just, like, shows up, it's like, who's this random guy? Why did I choose Hannibal? I don't know. Anyway, I let Hannibal come, but he brought along Walden, because that's the character we actually care about as a reader. Like, as the author, I love them all, but, like, reading this book, we don't even know who this guy is, but we do know the other guy. Anyway, yeah, I think that's where I was the last time I was drafting. We're trying to hand out the immunizations to people and heal people, and then the brothers show up to help. And shortly, we're gonna go invade Caradale, the actual country. Because war is happening. Oh, the wind is picking up. That's the problem. I guess that means I'm done. I'm gonna go inside and draft now. I am drafting. I'm about to kill a character, which is always fun. I enjoy those scenes. Yeah, so I'm just gonna dive in and see how and when this person dies. I'm gonna try and film this before the sun actually goes all the way down. See how far we can get. Let's see. What have we done? We are very close to the end of July. So wrapping up this vlog. Anyway, so I started editing it today, putting all the pieces together, seeing what kind of footage I had from July. And then I realized that I still had some footage from June, and I thought, that's odd. Let me go over to YouTube and pull up my June vlog and see if I maybe forgot to put some things on it. And I pulled up YouTube and was like, there's not a June vlog. I could have sworn there was a June vlog. So then I went back to my video editor and pulled up the June vlog and realized I had not put it together at any point. So then I sidetracked from the July vlog and was just editing the June vlog, which I finished and it's uploading now. And then went back to the July vlog, which I'm still piecing together. I'll finish that some other day. We still have a couple more days of July. There might be more that's added to it. I don't know. Anyway, that just really surprised me because I thought that I had the June vlog up a month ago. Turns out not. That's okay. It's going to be up now. Anyway, so I spent a large part of today editing the June vlog together, which I was not expecting. I did also write in Hope's book, added almost 2,000 words in today's scene. There's a lot of action. Somebody died. It was a good time. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that, I guess. We're on chapter 22, I want to say, in the new book. Finishing up chapter 6 in the old book. I don't know if anyone else cares about the numbers and comparisons, but I am fascinated by them, so I tell you every time. I wrote last week as well. I don't know if I vlogged it, but I only wrote... I wrote twice. One day I wrote almost 1,000 words, and the other day I only wrote 300. It was right after I got back from my 2 weeks at camp. So the first time I wrote was 300. I was really tired that week. And then I wrote a few days later, and it was almost 1,000 words. It was back to my normal. And then obviously here we are today on Monday, July, whatever today is. The 27th? I think it's the 27th. So we've got a few more days in July. Hopefully I will be productive and keep writing through Hope's book. We're about to get to the portion of the story where we shift from America to Caradale. And then it's just action, action, action from there on out. And there's not a lot of lull in the original book. We'll see what happens as I'm rewriting it. So I think that means drafting will be quick, but we'll see. I am imagining, based on how drafting has been going so far, it's pretty smooth when I actually do sit down and write. I have the occasional 300 day, just because of external life circumstances, but typically it's 1, 2, sometimes 3,000 words. It's fast and it's smooth and things are coming together. I'm not dragging my feet. I'm not confused. I'm not what on earth is Hope doing? What is her motivation? Who is this person? And why is she doing any of the things that she's doing? All of the struggles that I had with Cindy, and then just pulling teeth for 3 straight years of trying to write that novel. I'm not having any of those issues. So, based on how things are going so far, with the first half of the book, I expect the second half of the book to be the same, or even faster, because we're getting into the action part. And I started this, in March? I think it was March. So that's 5 months? So another 5 months guesstimate, to finish it, I suppose. Which is longer than I wanted it to take. When I sat down to write it, I was by the end of the summer. Things never go according to my very optimistic plans. But I'm still feeling pretty good about it. And I do think it'll pick up in July and in June as well. I was counseling at various church camps, and so I didn't actually have all of those weeks dedicated to writing. I had 3 weeks of no productivity whatsoever. And then the week after camps was also recovery time, and so I wasn't as productive. And so it was really 5 weeks out of the summer that I wasn't able to actually do, my typical normal whatever productiveness. So, I do think moving forward, because there aren't any more camp weeks, it's actually going to pick up. It might still take me 5 months, but I think it's going to pick up. But then school will start, so maybe it'll slow down again. Who knows? But this week and next week, I anticipate getting a lot done. And then school will start, and we'll see what my routine turns into. I don't know. Hopefully it's not terrible. I'd like to have this book done. I wanted it done by the end of the summer. That's not going to happen. I guess I'd like to have it done before the end of December. I wanted to have it done quickly so that I could return to the overhaul of Cindy's disaster. Because I do want to have another book published. I guess I have to run inside. Okay, I got a new battery. And then walked all the way back out here again. What was I saying before the battery died? Basically, I want to have a new book at convention next year. That's what I wanted, because this year I didn't have a new book. And maybe related, maybe unrelated, maybe due to other varying factors. But this year was the lowest year for sales at both conventions and in a long time. I haven't had that bad of a year in a while. So I was, I was really hoping to have a fresh book, to maybe draw attention again, and also I would like to get through publishing Cindy and Hope as quickly as possible so that I can set aside this whole rewrite the Amanda Grace books thing that I've been doing since 2022. I'd like to just close the door on this chapter. I'm really enjoying writing Hope's book, so I'm not like impatient to be done or like wishing it was over with or like dreading it or like whatever. I'm really enjoying Hope's book. So it's not like the wanting to close the chapter isn't because I'm so sick of doing what I'm doing, right? Because I am actually really enjoying writing Hope's book. But I'm also like, okay, this took 4 years longer than I anticipated that it was going to take when I was very optimistic that first year and was like, let me rewrite 8 books this year. And you know what? I got 5 of them, so that was impressive. But then Cindy took 3 years, and here we are. Anyway, it's taken many years longer than I originally intended or desired. And I'd really like to just be able to focus on my Arthurian legend inspired fantasy series. I want to get back to Messiah and be focused there and not have this other big project just like looming, you know? So I'd like to be able to be done with the rewrites of the 8 original books. We only have the last 2, so I'd like to finish it and be like, huzzah, it's done. Congratulations. All of the Amanda Grace books are now Mandy Grace books, and they have beautiful covers, and we can move on. Anyway, so I really wanted to have, the other one, Cindy. I wanted to have Cindy's book done, in order to publish it by convention season. That's not going to happen, period. It's not going to happen. Because A, I'm still drafting Hope's book, and B, even if I was dedicatedly working on Cindy right now, I'm only in draft 2, so we haven't gotten to, editing or polishing or getting an editor to look at it, and I have covers from Mandy Lynn from 2022 when I got all 8 covers for the 8 books that I was going to be rewriting that year, but it may need updated, and I don't think Mandy does covers anymore. That's how long it's been. So I don't know if I reach out to Mandy and be like, hey, can you update the cover wrap for me now that I actually have page count? Or if it's a matter of reaching out and finding a new cover designer to match Isolation, which is Mandy's cover for book 1, getting them to do either a wrap on the front cover I have for Mandy, or just a brand new cover that matches the vibe of Mandy's book 1 to do book 2 and 3. I don't know. But anyway, the cover design situation, and also the fact that we're only in draft 2, and it's still a dumpster fire. Cindy's book, I think, is going to take at least another year. At least. So, we're not getting a book this convention season, and that's kind of disappointing. But I'm going to work with it. It's going to be fine. I think most of the fall and like all of next year is going to be dedicated to Cindy's dumpster fire and making it not a dumpster fire. And I do have ideas. There's things percolating, and on various prickles I've been on, there have been like ideas. Like I did months ago now, I did the midpoint prickle, and like talking about catalysts and things about Cindy's story, and it got ideas rolling for me. Anyway, there's a lot going on up here in the background about Cindy's story, so I think when I finally get back around to it and starting the like official next draft, I think it will start out strong. We'll see how it ends, but I have good feelings about starting the next draft. But I do want to finish Hope's first draft before I dive into Cindy's second draft, so that I'm not doing two things at once. And I think Hope's first draft is going to take possibly 5 more months. So next year will be Cindy specific, and doing the next draft, maybe doing the next 2 drafts, depending on how fast it goes, maybe getting all the way to like editors, cover design, whatever. But it's gonna take a hot minute to do all of that and to make it a good book, and one that I'm proud of, and one that's worth reading and keeps, you guys engaged. Yeah, it's gonna be a hot minute. So we're looking at 2028 before I can really sit down and focus on Messiah, and like that be the only thing on my plate, and that's also kind of disappointing. But here we are. We're gonna make it work. It's gonna be okay. Maybe Cindy will go much faster than I anticipate once I get back around to it, and maybe Hope's story will really pick up. I set my goal for this week at 5,000 words by the end of the week, because in my writing community, Quill and Cup, we do a variety of things, but in particular, we do a like daily accountability thing, and the Monday one is like your goals for the week, and then on Friday you check back in and see how you did, what you need to adjust, whatever. And so today, being Monday, I set my intention for this week at 5,000 words in Hope's draft, and I did 2,000 words today. So I might actually, knock on wood, there isn't any wood to knock on, but I might actually get more like 10,000 this week if I keep going at that rate. I also have a couple days that I'm very busy and might not write, so maybe I'll even out and I'll only get the 5,000, and that will be okay. I'm good with that. But I was very optimistic when I hit that 2,000 today and was like, oh, okay. I might do twice as much as I anticipated. If I do 10,000 this week, 10,000 next week, that puts me around 50,000, and I don't think the book is going to get bigger than like 60,000, 70,000, I think, because that will be about double what the original book is, and that's typically how my rewrites go. It's about double what the original book is. So if this week and next week really are as productive as maybe they could be based off of today, I might actually be done in August with Hope's book, and then I can start on Cindy immediately, which would be ideal, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so all of the scheduling things aside, I did write 2,000 words today. I am very excited about it. I also, what else did I do productively? The June vlog, working on the July vlog, and I ran. So my sister and I used to do half marathons together years ago, haven't in a while. But we and one of our brothers are getting back into not a half marathon, but a run, like 5K, 10K, I don't remember what we said. We're pretending that we're running. Anyway, so today I did the first run that I've done in a while. It wasn't really a run, it was more like a speed walk. But I did 2 miles very slowly, speed walking and not running. I did 2 18-minute miles. And honestly, I feel kind of good about it after not running at all for years. I'm okay with that. We'll see how that progresses. But I was really excited about it. It's not related to writing at all. What else did I do today? I scheduled all of August's posts. So I have 1 post every single week. I actually have 2 the first week because it's also the book birthday for The Legend of the Thief, which is the Legend of the Thief version would be 4 years old. Sorry, my brain was like, it has not been that long. It would be 4 years old. As long as I've been writing Cindy. No, not quite, but it would be, yeah, it'd be 4 years old. And the original version would be 12 years old. And it's basically the same story, just updated. So anyway, it's been 12 years since, since I became a published author. Started on this crazy journey. It's wild. Anyway, so the book birthday is like an extra post. But there's 1 a week through all of August. And then if things happen throughout August that I want to post about, I can add to it and then have more than 1 a week. But I like this schedule I started in June of like posting, like scheduling everything. I have at least 1 post every week for the whole month. I don't have to think about it for the rest of the month if I don't want to. But if during the month I do think of something, or I am inspired by something, or I do something fun that I want to share, whatever, like I can, but I don't have to worry about it because it's all done, you know? 1 a week, done. And then I can build from there if I so desire. I like this. This has worked well for the last 3 months, and I want to keep it that way. It'll be interesting once school starts, if I'm able to like maintain the rhythms I'm trying to build over the summer, but I like this one, and I would like to keep it because it's been helpful. I haven't done any of the big projects other than getting into social media. I haven't done any of the big projects that I had scheduled for the summer, so over the next 2 weeks, I have to do all of them, which is updating my website, fixing, doing something with the email flows. Ooh, the wind is picking up and that's a problem. Fixing the Robin Hoods, particularly the last 3 edit-wise, but also the first one with the dedication page. Anyway, fixing the Robin Hoods, just surface level things. Just hopefully a quick little edit, I don't know. And then dealing with Ingram Spark and getting all of my books on Ingram Spark. I am hardcore avoiding that one, but I'm going to try and get through all 4 of those things in the next 2 weeks before I move back home, because once school starts, I probably won't do any big projects at all. I think I'll be able to maintain writing as a rhythm, and hopefully this like scheduling a month in advance, because it just takes 1 day and I schedule all of them and I'm done. So hopefully I'll keep that through the school year, and writing, reading my fiction books for funsies. I've also started a craft book again. I used to read them once a month. That's not a thing anymore, but I do want to continue learning and growing and becoming better at being an author, and like writing wise, and also, you know, marketing wise, existing in the business wise. Yeah, those are the big things, and I'd like to get what I can done in the next 2 weeks, and then continue once school starts. But I don't think I'll do big things once school starts. I think that's basically everything that happened today. So I guess I'll see you back maybe tomorrow or the next day or some point to keep writing for the next couple days, and then wrap up the July vlog. Hi. So that's the end of July. I wrote one more time. I wrote over 1,000 words, so I got somewhere around 3,000 words last week, but then I didn't write the rest of the week. So if I'd kept writing, could have hit the 5K, maybe the 10K, but I didn't, so here we are. Excuse you. Do you hear that? I've ticked off the bugs. Yeah, so that's it. That's the end of July. It's so windy and I'm so sorry.